What is up, alienARMy? I am Oculus, the alien next door, purveyor of esoteric lore, and today our esoteric topic, we are going to be discussing the asteroid Pholus and what he means mythologically as well as astrologically. So I'm pretty confident that Pholus is how you pronounce it, but if you pronounce his name differently, then that's perfectly fine. So let's get started. Who is Pholus? What does he represent in astrology? Why is he associated with Kieran and Pluto? How is he the fast track betwixt Saturn, physical karma, and Neptune, isness within the ethereal? We are going to be answering these questions in this video. Pholus is a predominantly red-colored asteroid found orbiting the Sun, crossing the orbits of Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune in the process. He is nicknamed Big Red by some because of his largely red appearance. He was first discovered on January 9th, 1992 by David Rabinowitz. Pholus is the second Centaur asteroid to be named after a mythological figure, after Kieran, who was the first. Upon the discovery of Pholus, it was realized that it takes him 92 years to make a full orbit around the Sun, staying in each zodiac sign for approximately 7.6 years. This is why the house placement and aspects of Pholus are regarded as being more important than just the sign he is in. And as always, we will leave links below so that you can find your Pholus sign. Pholus was named after a mythological centaur who was also Kieran's friend. Kieran, who is a fellow centaur, is also an important astrological figure. We do have a video about Kieran, which we will link below as well. However, unlike Kieran, who was immortal, Pholus was mortal. This is important to keep in mind as we progress through his role in astrology. Legend stated that one day Hercules drank from the wine preserved by Pholus, and upon opening the jar, the other centaurs became enticed by the aromatic essences of the wine and proceeded to charge into the cave where Hercules was drinking. This led to the Battle of the Centaurs, in which Hercules produced poison arrows and began aiming them at the centaurs. Though Pholus himself was not directly shot with an arrow, he too was afflicted by their toxic poison. It is not known whether he pricked himself on an arrow, preparing another centaur for burial, or whether he curiously picked up one of the arrows to examine it out of sheer interest. In either case, he was accidentally maimed as well, and he succumbed to a quick death as he was mortal and could die. Here we begin the astrological association of Pholus. As Kieran was immortal and chose to relinquish his physical form, thus healing himself, Pholus was mortal and quickly released from his physical body, also healing himself of pain in a different way, an expedited way. This is why in astrology, his presence brings about swift and healing change. Oftentimes, this change stems from a catalytic source, much like the butterfly effect. Something minute, such as being curious about a poison arrow, can lead to a quick culmination of life-altering events. Not necessarily death, as with the mythological tale, but a transformation of such great value that one may fail to recognize the individual they were masquerading around as prior to the catalyst. Here's why Pholus is often likened to Pluto, as Pluto too deals with excessive transformation. Pluto's transformative role is one which has been a long time coming. Pholus's transformative role is one which occurs in an instant. Both provide healing, however, Pholus's transformation will not be premeditated or planned out like Pluto's. We can see similarities betwixt Pholus and Chiron, as they are both centaur asteroids, as well as similarities betwixt Pholus and Pluto, in which both are associated with transformation on a grand scale and also upheaval. Pholus intersects the orbits of Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, so he is able to traverse very easily and quickly from Saturnian, physical karmic energy, through Uranus, cognate energetic vibration, to Neptune, sentient energetic vibration. And if you are interested in learning more about these three planets, we do have videos on them as well, which will be linked below. The ability to move quickly is Pholus's focal point. Picture a roller coaster, if you will, the kind which is propulsion based. Instead of going up an incline and then descending rapidly down from the apex like the traditional ride, a propulsion-based roller coaster essentially starts quickly, abruptly, and out of nowhere. Many times, once the riders have strapped in, the operator of the machine does not count down or prepare the individuals for their blast-off. They are sitting in the station and boom! 0 to 100 plus miles an hour in an instant. These are my favorite type of roller coasters, by the way, and I have natal Pholus conjunction natal sun, so that kind of makes sense. But anyway, Pholus is associated with chance encounters and innocent curiosity, which lead to astounding revelations and exceedingly fast forward movements. He is the asteroid which propels one's psyche from the mundane to the extraordinary, and because he represents a mortal being, he also can bestow rapid physical changes in the native as well. The Pholus archetype embodies rapid change, sometimes a clandestine nature to the monkey mind, which may arise out of a seemingly ambiguous gesture. One is not actively seeking change, at least not consciously, nor is he opposed to the idea. It is simply not yet known to the individual at the point in time when the transformation begins, yet it very often leads one into a state of euphoria. An example of Pholus energy would be an overworked doctor, concise and cynical, sitting inside the local coffee shop, fervently working on his laptop. Along comes a stranger who walks by his table, dropping a business card for psychic services, and then moves on to the next table to do the same. The doctor barely notices the stranger, as he is too engrossed in his work to realize what has happened. But as he is getting ready to leave an hour later, he notices the business card. Psychic service is not something that this particular medical doctor knows much about or has any interest in. However, when he gets home, he visits the website out of sheer curiosity. He reaches out to the psychic, who then gives the doctor a reading, and they have a long conversation which ends up with the doctor awakening to his spiritual side and his own psychic gifts. This chance encounter has had a profound effect on him, and he decides to shut the doors of his Western medicinal practice and travel abroad to study with holistic healers in another country. A few months later, he returns to his home base a changed man and begins a new medical practice of holistic healing, which he becomes world-renowned for. All of this from a seemingly innocent trip to the local coffee shop. This is the nature of Pholus if we were to personify him. We are certain that you too have witnessed or experienced things of this nature along your journey, as Pholus touches each and every one of us in different ways. We see here the proverbial butterfly effect on an initial small gesture, which then leads to rapid expenditure of the previously known. As Pholus is able to commingle with the energies of Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, his nature can be both that of a physical variety as well as an energetic one. And because we have 3 planets at play here, Pholus is also associated with 3 generations of a structure. Pholus's location in one's natal chart will show an area of abrupt revolutions in the native and for the native. As with the example of the overworked doctor, we see him doing something unusual, out of his comfort zone, looking up the psychic's website, yet not scary, which propels him onto a whole other timeline in his experience. This is the effect of Pholus, unusually out of character. Unusual representing Uranus, out of representing Neptune, and character representing Saturn. Though clandestine upon surface appraisal, oftentimes a Pholus moment, as we like to call it, is already embedded in the individual's soul, and he is therefore being blindly led to a greater destiny out of sheer whim of the moment. A prominent Pholus in one's natal chart will make for an individual who revels in change and seems to constantly dance with destiny. Pholus, strongly connected to a personal planet, will reveal many sudden and swift changes in their personality. Pholus, strongly connected to an intrapersonal or universal planet, will reveal many sudden upheavals and transitions in one's outer domain. A Pholus transit to a personal natal celestial body or point on the natal chart brings about impulsivity and movement in one's personal and or inner sphere. A Pholus transit to an intrapersonal or universal planet will bring with it a sudden change in the individual's outer ambiance. If we were to sum up Pholus, we would note that he is the inkling of recognition of the self within the whole, curiouser and curiouser down the rabbit hole. I would like to thank you for taking this stroll with me through the realm of Pholus. I am Oculus, the alien next door. We will chit-chat again soon. As always, peace, good vibes, and namaste. Blessed because you are.